What's up everybody, Craig here. I haven't done a video in a long time, but I figured this device would be worth it. You're looking at a KDLinks A200. Link will be in description at Amazon. Pretty awesome device because basically in a world of, okay, I got an Xbox, it plays a hard drive, and I got a Western Digital, and I got a Roku box, and I got an Apple TV, and they stream, and you got Plex servers that stream. Okay, first of all, I'm tired of streaming. I don't like streaming. Um, you know, if you get a Blu-ray disc, you actually have a lot of data on that disc. You have director's cuts and deleted scenes and all kinds of data that's worth quite a bit. So if you're trying to stream a full Blu-ray, or you rip it to a computer, put it on a hard drive, that's a lot of data. That's like 30 gigs of data. So if you're trying to stream a movie that's a pretty big file size, it could get annoying in the home network. So that's why I like having movies locally. And another big thing too that I'm getting frustrated. I have an Xbox One, and I thought that was the solve all. Was I plugged in the hard drive? Well, yeah, it'll play some movie files, which this will play any movie file, but Xbox One will play some movie files. But another thing is, I like my library to be nice. I like for it to have cover art. I like to see, just like I'm looking at Netflix, instead of crappy, outdated movies, it's actually new and updated movies. And I'll show you a little bit about all that. But the coolest thing about this, unlike other media players, is that instead of having an external hard drive hooked up, boom, look at this trap door right here. I just had shoulder surgery, so I'm delicate here. That's a 4 terabyte hard drive. Okay, I got a 4 terabyte hard drive in there. All the movies I need or want is right there. And instead of having crappy DVD qualities, I take my Blu-rays, I rip them, and then this thing, which I'll get into why and how it does, will actually use the internet and download the artwork, so make it look all pretty, just like you're looking at Netflix. Um, there's also some other ways to get movies on there, and I'll show you that as well. But basically, what this is, if you see the little Android symbol right there, it's basically a media device with Android installed. So it's almost like you're using a cell phone, but it's a media player. Just like you can use your cell phone to watch movies and to download apps and to all kinds of stuff. And one thing this thing touts, and I'm gonna try to steer y'all away from this. One thing this thing touts is stuff like XBMC and Plex and all that stuff. The actual media player on this device is awesome. It plays everything quite well, and again, you can make your library look pretty with the artwork. Um, so just to go over the specs real quick, when you get this thing, you fire it up and you do see Android, you're going to want to go to the Play Store, you're going to want to mess around with it, and you're going to want to download all kinds of stuff, like games and all kinds of stuff, which that's why you have, an Xbox or whatever. You don't need to download games for all this stuff. Yeah, some of them are playable, blah, 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 but you only have 1 gig of RAM, and that's decent for an Android device, but you don't want to kind of bog it all down with stupid crap you download on the Play Store. You want to pretty much keep it to, movies, and make this thing a nice little a box for your movies and TV shows and stuff like that. So to get into what it comes with, it comes with a couple controllers. This one right here, this one is like a Wii controller. There's an actual, if you look right here, there's an actual receiver for it, and this is almost just like a Wii controller. You'll see there'll be like a little, you'll just move it like this and click what you want, and you'll see there's a little arrow up there so you can select what you want. And it also comes with an infrared controller, which this TV actually acts up with it. My Samsung does a lot better with it. But I actually went one further, and because it's an Android device, you can actually, get on the internet and stuff like that. And I went ahead and bought this puppy. So I got a trackpad and a keyboard on it. And you can actually use this as a mini computer too. It's not too bad. You can surf around and use Facebook and all that stuff. Now, I have devices for that. That's why I really don't do it. But it's nice to know that you have the option. So I'll show you how this works as well. Just to go through the hardware real quick. Again, you have 1 gig of RAM. Let's see what we got here. There's no the Wi-Fi card in it. It's only 2.4 gigahertz, so you're not gonna be able to hook up to your 5 gigahertz stream. Not a big deal because you really don't need strong internet, you have a LAN port on the back if you want faster internet, if you want to wire it in. But again, I got this to get away from streaming, so that's what I did. You got an A9 CPU, I think it's an Atom CPU, and then there's 4 gigabytes of internal flash in there. On the back you got your HDMI port. Okay, that's what obviously you're probably going to use to hook up. You got an optical audio, LAN port, and if you come over here, you got 2 USBs. One of them my receiver goes in. You got a SD slot, and if you see this right here, again, there's multiple ways to get movies on this, but one of the ways is to hook up a USB 3 cable, and then hook this thing up into your computer, and it just mounts the hard drive that's inside this, or the hard drive you have hooked up externally, and you can just drag and drop and make it easy. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up and see what it's all about. Alright, so we got this thing fired up, and what do you immediately notice? Wow, this looks just like a cell phone or tablet in the Jelly Bean era. So yeah, this is pretty much, that's all it is. It's just an Android cell phone. And you can see right up there I downloaded an HD widget. You got YouTube, IMDb. These look just like cell phone apps, and that's what they are. There's the Play Store right here. You can go into it and download what you want. So, and then if you look down bottom, here you go. Here's your home, and so we're going there. And if you look, you could use the actual cursor just like your fingertip. I'm gonna grab and I'm gonna move. I'm gonna grab and then I'm gonna move to get back to where I was. So pretty cool. A lot of cool things you could do with this, but again, I just care about the movies and keeping things locally. I'm tired of streaming. I'm tired of Plex servers. I'm tired of XBMC libraries that can't seem to get it right. And I like XBMC, but I just like to either. And the cool thing about this is it automatically adds your artwork, and then sometimes it misses, and you can actually go in and add it yourself. And I'll get into how you do that. But again, so if you see, I'm using like the Wii remote that I showed you. So that's how you use it with this. And this also too has a keyboard on it as well. I know it's hard to see. I took the lights down a little bit. Let's see what we can do here to light this up. So yeah, if you see real quick, there's a keyboard on it as well. So if you need to use a keyboard on this, you could. Now you can't have 2 receivers hooked up to it. So so I actually have to disconnect this receiver to hook up the keyboard, and I'll show you what that's all about too. So I'm hooking up the keyboard receiver now, and now I'm going to be using the keyboard. And this one's actually quite nice. So here's my cursor. I'm using the trackpad and all that good stuff. Here, let me shut the lights off so you see it better. Alright, so you see the cursor and all that stuff. And I'll go ahead and just go into a browser. I mean, like I said, you could just use this as a mini computer and so forth. So it's gonna go ahead. Now I'm hooked up LAN. It does go a little bit faster. I mean, I'm sorry, I'm hooked up Wi-Fi. It does go a little bit faster if you're using LAN. Now I haven't opened this in a while, so it seems like it's applying an update. So stand by. Okay, so here we are, and I'll go ahead and go. So just like you can see, look, I'm on Amazon right now, and I can actually use my trackpad to scroll. So I'm using 2 fingers, and I'm gonna go ahead and scroll down. As you see, it's scrolling. So it's pretty user friendly when you get this Logitech keyboard. I'll put the link in the description for that. Because I'm not going to go ahead and turn on and turn off the lights. But again, here, if you see, I'm on Amazon. I mean, this is a good little tool if you want to use it for a little mini computer, if you're just into browsing and stuff like that. I need a processor in mine and good processor, so obviously I don't use it for that. But like I said, I recommend don't bog this down with apps and stuff you download from the Play Store. Just keep it to a movie thing. So now, without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the movies. And again, I'm hooked up to the internet right now, so you'll see what we can do. So I'm going to go in here. Okay. And right here, you can hook into a network server. So if you got a Plex server, or you got a a NAS or a shared drive or something like that. You can plug into that and stream stuff. But again, I don't like streaming. You can get into your SD card. You can make a playlist. You can make a bookmark. This is a really cool feature right here. It's called Resume List. So if I click on that, you get another cool feature here too. If you look, this is up here. I got my time and my weather. So so here, if you look, these are some movies and stuff like that I'm like, okay, I was watching all these movies and I want to pick up where I left off in V for Vendetta. So I just click on that and it'll pick up where it left off on. So pretty cool. All right. So again, when you come and here, let me get out of this and show you how I got into this again. So I'm going to launch the movies. Again, you know, when you get this, it's gonna they actually have you kind of coach you through downloading XBMC, and then when you go through the XBMC thing, you'll just notice it doesn't add the artwork too pretty. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into as USB is how it marks the hard drive that's hooked up internally. So I'm gonna get in there. I got some movies right here. I got 3D movies. I got my movies, and I got my daughter's movies. But I'll get into 3D movies in a minute because I actually did have to figure that out, and I'll get into that in a minute. That's a different ball game. But if you look, I saved some with no artwork so I could show you how to add it. So here we are. If you look, it looks really pretty, really nice. Again, I'm using 2 fingers on my trackpad to scroll up and down. But if you go up and you look at bad words right there, okay, this doesn't have any artwork. Okay, I purposely did that. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to click and hold, and then I'm going to go ahead and scrape current. Okay, now watch what happens. Ooh, okay. Boom. There we go. So now I got some artwork and it looks pretty. Now you might say to yourself, well, crap, I don't want to do that with every individual movie. Cool, you don't have to. There is actually a scrape all function, and you can scrape them all. You just have to go back to the folder, hold that, and then hit scrape all. But you will notice that it'll miss a few. And to explain how you missed that is you'll go through and you'll be like, okay, there's a few that was missed. And for instance, Total Recall, there was one made in I think 2012, and there was one made in like 1987. Well, same movie, same title, but different year. So if you look how I have, okay, here's the name and here's the year. Okay, same thing. That's how to really identify what they are, and it'll apply the right artwork on it. This, as you see, I clicked on that, and I like how it gives you a little preview, a little kind of you know what it's all about, and so we'll go ahead and do that again. So I'll click on big right here, and look. It gives you a little picture, a little, okay, there's the artwork right there, and then if you look, it's got your IMDb info, so they got your actors, you know, what genre it is, and then a little bit about the movie. So this is pretty cool. You know, you got a girlfriend over or something like that, you know, trying to pick a movie, you just click on one and they can read, and boom, it tells you what you got. It's Dolby Digital Surround Sound, what kind of video file it is. So this is awesome. Way better than an Xbox or anything like that where you can't see anything. You know, you do see video files and you just play it, and then it'll tell you, oh, I can't play that, you know, not a supported video file. Especially if you've bought these movies via Blu-ray and you ripped them on your computer. You should be able to do what you want with them. So that's what I really like about this device is you can do what you want, and it'll add the artwork. It'll add the IMDb info. You are connected to the internet, so there's things you can do. And again, this is all my stuff locally. And the best thing about having stuff locally is that you could have big files. So I'm going to go ahead and go back to my 3D movies, okay? And I'll go ahead and explain 3D real quick to you. And again, you could actually rip your DVDs or your Blu-rays in ISO format and then actually play it as a whole Blu-ray file. So you can actually click on the director's commentaries. You can click on the you know, extra deleted scenes, whatever you want. So 3D movies are very, very high in data. Here's Frozen. I forgot to add the artwork on that, so I'm gonna go ahead and scrape current and get the artwork on Frozen. So it's gonna add the artwork. And there you go. So pretty cool. And again, this is just something that you can just keep up with. First, you're going to scrape all, and you got to get all the artwork, and then you're just going to add one at a time once you add the movies. Again, you just there are multiple ways you can add movies. I showed you the first way by plugging in the USB 3.0 cord and then dragging and dropping. It'll mount as a hard drive on your computer. Then you take the movie wherever it is, you just drag in the appropriate folder, and there you go. Another way to do it too, I actually have a cloud storage. Actually, I'll get into that in a minute, but so 3D movies. So I'll click on Avatar, and I have a Samsung TV, not this one, but my Samsung TV that's out in the living room. Before, when I used to play with microplayers, I used to play 3D movies. All I would have to do is play the movie. You would do side by side or over and under, and you would just have to click the 3D button on the remote, the Samsung remote, and then you would actually you know, pick side by side or over and under. You put your glasses on, you're good. This one, you actually need to hit the 3D. You actually need to play it in 3D on the actual media player. You can't hit the 3D button on the actual, like your Samsung TV. You can't hit the 3D button. It's just gonna mess it all up. So I'm gonna show you how to do this real quick. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. Okay, resume to the last position. Okay, so it's going, and what I need to do, I'm gonna click. It's gonna bring up this. I need to go ahead and get the settings. It's gonna bring it up top, and so as you see, it's 3D. Here, let me mute it. All right, so I muted that for you. So as you see, this is a 3D movie, but it's over and under, so or top bottom. So I need to go ahead and click 3D top bottom, and then it'll put it in 3D top bottom mode. I'm gonna hit escape on my thing, and if you had a 3D TV, and this is not, but if you had a 3D TV, it would go ahead and put it together for you, and then you'd be able to put on your glasses and be able to watch it. But you actually need to play the 3D on the media player itself. And not just hit the 3D button on your remote. You're going to notice it's kind of distorted if you do that. So just follow those steps and you'll be good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and take me out of 3D mode. (2D normal). Okay, escape. And now I'm going to stop. Okay, all right. So that's that. So again, really cool. It's a 3D player. You can play 3D movies. You could play your regular movies, all that stuff locally. I got 4 terabytes, plenty of room, so pretty cool. All right, so now I'm gonna go home. All right. Again, I said multiple ways to get movies on this. The drag and drop feature is good. You can put the movies on a thumb drive and then hook it in, and then actually use the file manager to go ahead and move it. So what I do is I use the file manager right here file manager, hold on. There you go, file manager right there. And see how it brings up in 2 different spots? This is what you would have. This is the source and this is the destination. So you can, you know, get a movie on a thumb drive and then transfer it this way. And then you could also do it remotely. Since we're hooked up to the internet, you could actually hook up to your hard drive or whatever. I have an FTP, file transfer protocol. And so I could actually download straight to the box. I'm actually on my computer quite a bit, so I thought I was going to use this feature a lot more than I was, but I'm actually just a big hook up the cable to my computer, drag and drop. USB 3.0 is pretty quick, so that's the way I go. I like it. This is awesome. Again, I have a very pretty movie library. The UI is awesome because it's Android. and you know, this is just a lot more user friendly than an Xbox media player, a Roku player, or whatever that, you know, you can only stream Hulu and Netflix, and you got to wait for all these seasons to come out and blah 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 blah. So again, really cool. So I like it. I thought this was worthy of a video. So hopefully I swayed y'all. I'll put the links in the description of where you can get this and the setup that I have. Again, I hope you like this video. Like, subscribe, comment. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.